Right, so I've now got the TGV5 car set up and set up how I want it. Sort of basically getting it ready for commissioning on the layout. So I've not added or tried any of the other extension coach sets or anything like that. I've just been programming CVs. To change the address and program CVs, which are in the instruction manual, you can either program it on a long programming track like that and program both the drive cars at the same time because they're running tandem together. Even saying that, there's slight differences in how each one behaves depending on which direction it's going on in, etc. So it's a very advanced mapping on the DCC sound chips. Very advanced, and I think they're locked out as well. I don't think you can mess with them. With the ESU lock programmer, I don't think you can mess around with these chips too much because I'm sure they're locked at the factory. You don't want to mess or upset any of the advanced mapping. You can very easily adjust the CV adjustments for the speed and the sound. You can adjust the speed. You can adjust the pantographs as well if you want. And you can do various other adjustments. But if you start going into advanced chip mapping, I don't think that's possible, and I don't want to mess with it because out of the box it's basically set up perfectly how I would want it anyway, except for the sound. I've adjusted the sound volume and the address, and you can also split the train up with just the drive car and coach and program that separately. If you've not got a long enough programming track, you can program each end separately if you require to do that. So, but it really is an incredible set. The detail on it is incredible on the pantographs. Very realistic, and there's the figures I've put in. These are only cheap figures that are inside there. Very, very cheap figures. I've tightened them up a bit, but to totally fit out all, say, 10 cars or whatever, how many passenger cars you've got with high quality knock figures, like the drivers are putting, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So I'm not going to do that. I've just put high quality figures in the cabs. Don't know if you can see that. I'll show a couple of pictures of that at both ends, because it really does need those decent high quality figures in the cab ends. It being such a beautiful train, such a beautiful model. The way it's made is really good. It all comes apart extremely well, goes back together again, but you just got to make sure you've got decent preparation for doing that, and working cradles, etc., and tools. A lot of patience, because these cars, to get these cars apart, they're quite tricky, where the cowling goes in on the end, around the bogie there. It sort of grips the bottom section of the coach. So I've not tried opening up this car, the bar coach, yet, so I don't know about that. And the extension sets, I imagine the extension sets will be pretty much straightforward. So yeah, so I'll just power this up. The sound on this is incredible because it's in stereo. The start-up sequence takes about a minute to do, and I'm recording in mono, so you're not going to hear it in stereo, obviously, but it just sounds absolutely brilliant. It really does. got all the generators, and they all sort of like, that end will do certain sounds and that end will be doing something different. It just sounds brilliant. Got the horn, depending on which direction it's going, depends on which end the horn sounds at. I'm just going to go into a startup procedure. So that raises both pantographs at each end. I think the high powered pantographs, there's low powered pantographs and high powered ones. So I'm going to just get this rolling now. There's the doors opening and closing. It just sounds amazing. And it's rock solid. Absolutely rock solid on the rolling road. It's probably one of the best high-speed train models I've ever seen. Because of detail on the actual bogies and the springs. Everything about it, the lighting, it really is an incredible train. Oh, that sounds great, because the horns work differently depending on what speed it's going at. If it's stationary, it'll have a different sort of horn, but that was a high speed, as if it's passing at high speed in real life. So I'm just going to stop it now anyway. Just bring it down to mid-speed. So the horn again is different. Bring it down to stationary speed. Press the horn again. Maybe you've got loads of different types of horns all depending on how fast it goes. Doors are, it's just amazing. This is just so good to play around with. Amazing. So what I'm going to do is disengage 11, bring down the pantographs, press F4, bring the low powered pantographs. I think one of them work. Oh, the other end's come up. I think these are low powered pantographs, low voltage ones, and you only get one of them coming up depending on which way the train's going. So the train is heading forwards, so that trailing pantograph, the low powered one, would work. I think that's what, I'm not sure if I'm correct or not, but that's how that works anyway. But yeah, really impressed with this set. It's so good. Right, so there we go. I'm going to record it in stereo next, see if it sounds any different on the video. But one thing to bear in mind on this model is not to enable railcom feedback. If you enable railcom feedback, it'll confuse the command centre with having two drive units working on tandem on the same address, but each unit works in a slightly different way to each other when it's in operation. Just got to bear that in mind. The pantographs, these are on little special micro servos inside a unit below, which is a separate bolt-in unit. If you find your pantographs are not working, don't pull them up, whatever you do. Don't force them upwards. If you think they're not working, just slightly nudge it, just a little bit, and then it should start working, because one of mine wasn't working correctly, and I just slightly nudged it, and it came up and started working. Or you can if you find you have any problems with the pantographs, just switch off and restart the locomotive, and it should re-enable itself, because it's got a reset mode on the pantographs where it's like a fail-safe on them, where it resets, it auto resets itself. But don't, whatever you do, pull the pantographs up, because that will destroy the motor connection, the mechanical connection. These add-on coaches, which I've just got out now, and really impressive detail on the connections. Never noticed it's even got the drooping cables that connects like you'd get in real life. A real spring there. It's just absolutely amazing the way it's done. It's a really well designed coupling system, because it's impossible to misalign them because of that big guide bar and the way these terminals are made. They're impossible to break. It's just so well done. And this DC version, you can see the disc brakes. It's even got disc brakes built into the axles. Phenomenal detail, that. It's just really good. They're really good value for one of these coaches as well. If it paid, I think it works out about just over £50 each on the extension sets. So got a good deal there. Really good. So, I'm sure there was something else I was going to mention regarding the set, but I just cannot remember what it was now. So anyway, I'll get this running anyway, get it fired up in stereo.